What's good, everybody? It's the Cloud with Cab Show. Shout out to the Boston Celtics taking a 2-0 series lead in the NBA Finals. I am not surprised. I seen it going this way, especially with Porzingis back. However, he did get hurt in Game 2, and I think that's going to be a huge factor of how this series is going to end up. I really do. I think the Mavs can get right back in it if Porzingis is out for the rest of the series. This gives the Dallas Mavericks a shot to bounce back and come back. We remember back in 2006, the Dallas Mavericks were up 2-0 against the Miami Heat and D. Wade and an old Shaquille O'Neal. They come back and won it in 4 straight. So I think it's very possible for the Dallas Mavericks to come back. I just think with Kyrie, he only had 16 in Game 2, really a quiet game. I think Kyrie needs to go off for 30-plus points if we want to see that type of Kyrie that we saw back in 2016. That's the Kyrie that I want to see, but I just think overall the Boston Celtics, they're just a better overall team. They have more depth. They have better bench, way better. Even though Tatum hasn't been going crazy, only 18 points in Game 2. You had Drew Holiday. He's been the X factor for the Boston Celtics. He had 26 in Game 2. Derek White had 18. You had Jaylen Brown with 21. Tatum with a quiet 18. But overall, these start to add up. Porzingis had 12. Even though I do think Porzingis could be out. I really do. Just it sucks to be always hurt, but I just think if Porzingis is not going to play the rest of the series, this gives the Dallas Mavericks light. Porzingis was the X factor, and out of these first 2 games, Porzingis has been their clutch player for the Boston Celtics. We're talking about 3+ blocks a game. We're talking about 12+ points a game for Porzingis. He had 20 in Game 1? Like, that's what you need for the Boston Celtics. But I just think the Dallas Mavericks, man, they just met their match. I mean, P.J. Washington is nice. 17 points in Game 2. He was 1 for 5 from the 3, though. The Dallas Mavericks do not traditionally shoot well from 3-point range. They just don't. Luka, we already know he's going to get his. Another triple-double, 32, 11, and 11 in Game 2. I just think the Dallas Mavericks, they're going to have to match up and play better defense. Their help side defense is terrible. That leads to open dunks, open layups. It's just like for the Mavericks' sake, it's like they got to play better defense. Help side defense especially because that's their weak point. In the Boston Celtics, they just play great, man. They really do. It's just so great to see the Boston Celtics, how they play basketball because they play it down to a science. You have Pritchard coming off the bench who hit the half-court shot, his first points of this NBA Finals. Shout out to Pritchard. You know, obviously Porzingis is hurt. You got Hauser. I just think overall the Boston Celtics, they're the most complete team, and that's why they're up 2-0. That's why they're up 2-0, and we can go back to the Pacers series and how bad the Pacers fumbled that bag and choked. But overall, I'm looking at this matchup right now and saying the Dallas Mavericks still have light. It's not over. Game 3 is a must-win for the Dallas Mavericks. It's a must-win for Luka. Kyrie's going to have to come out and show out and ball out. That's what you're going to have to do. I mean, this is do or die now. If I'm Jason Kidd, I'm saying, hey, I need everybody to play their A-plus game. Not one player to play, an okay, decent game with 10 points. No, I need every single player, every role player in the Dallas Mavericks to show out and ball out. That's what you're going to have to do to win the NBA Finals. That's how you're going to have to come back. That's how the Miami Heat came back against the Mavericks back in 06. They came back and battled back. You know, and we even go back to the 06 series. Game 3, Dirk Nowitzki had 2 free throws to tie the game up. He missed the second one. Lack of experience is what Dirk Nowitzki said in that series. And then we fast forward, Dirk Nowitzki wins in 2011, beat LeBron James in the Miami Heat. LeBron James' worst final performance ever. Yes, I get it, he choked. But that was a learning experience for LeBron. And then LeBron goes on to win back-to-back. Then he goes on to win down 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors to make history, the greatest team to ever play in the NBA. LeBron James comes back down 3-1. Then he wins in 2020. So I just think looking at the bigger picture for the Dallas Mavericks is it's not over. It's not over. It's far from over. If we look at history and realize, man, just because you're up 2-0, that doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. So I think the Dallas Mavericks, they got their hands full. But right now, if I'm looking at the bigger picture, I'm saying, well, looks like the Celtics are going to win in 6 games. It really does. I just think overall the Celtics are deeper. And I even said come Game 3, Game 4, and Game 5 is going to be the most critical games for the Dallas Mavericks. Why? Because they don't have as deep of a bench like the Boston Celtics. They just don't, dude. And I'm looking at the Mavericks and saying, man, like, there's some guys where I thought for sure should have got some playing time, like Tim Hardaway Jr. He's not getting any love. I think he should have played yesterday. Lively, only 19 minutes, only 2 points. I need more out of Lively. I need more out of these role players from the Dallas Mavericks. If not, they will get swept. It'll be Boston Celtics a chance to win this 18th title overall, most all time in the NBA history. Like, that's crazy. 18 world championships, NBA titles. That is insane, dude. That's crazy, but I want to see the Mavericks win. Obviously, their last win was 2011. Like, that's been years ago, over a decade. So right now, the Mavericks and Luka and Kyrie, they have to lock in here. They have to lock in on defense. I'm not worried about the offense for the Dallas Mavericks, even though I do think they shoot up some bad shots, bad threes. Even when Luka hits these bad threes, if I'm a coach, I still want you to shoot a good, productive shot. I don't want you to throw up these miracle bomb threes like you're Steph Curry, okay? Like, no, you're not, dude. You're not a generational player like that to be throwing up these crazy threes, even though Derek White does hit a lot of the threes. Shout out to Derek White. I mean, he used to be a six-man off the bench. Now he's a starter. That's amazing. I think he's a starter in the right situation, the right program for Derek White. Now, if Derek White was on like a team like the Lakers or the Denver Nuggets, I do think he'd still be a six-man. I'm not taking any credit away from Derek White. He's a heck of a player, but he could be the best six-man when he was a six-man. So I love Derek White, what he brings to the table. I mean, 18 points, 4 for 10 from three-point line for Derek White. That's huge for the Boston Celtics. These are the type of players that win you the NBA Finals. Guys like Derek White who are stepping up. Guys like Al Horford, even though he's washed up, he had 28 minutes, only 5 points. 1 from 3 from three-point line. Now, if I'm the Dallas Mavericks, I'm saying, hey, Al Horford, go ahead. If you shoot 5 threes and make 1, we'll live with that. We will live with that, which typically that's what Al Horford does. If he's going to shoot up 5 threes, he might hit 2 out of the 5 if he's lucky. He's obviously going to hit 1, but that's fine. We'll live with that. We'll live with the extra possessions when Al Horford's shooting up these stupid wide-open threes, typically when he's not going to make them. So the Dallas Mavericks, they need to lock in. They need to really give Kyrie the green light. What I mean by that is I always thought when Kyrie, even in Game 1, I thought, give Kyrie the ball. Like, I want Kyrie to be shooting 10 shots every single quarter. Like, no, I don't want Kyrie to pass the ball early in these possessions. I want Kyrie to go to the cup, create contact, get an and one, do all these things that Kyrie does, the magician that he is. Splits the double team, throws up over a 7-footer in Porzingis, hits these little bunny jumpers and layups. That's what I want Kyrie to continue to do, is continue to drive the ball. I don't want Kyrie to do fadeaway jumpers, over 6'6" guys. No, I want Kyrie to go to the bucket. Now, if he can create space, which he can, out on the open floor, yes, shoot a couple threes, but overall, I want Kyrie to have the green light, and that means go. I want him to go to the bucket, create space, create the double team, to kick out to the open three. That's what you want. You want to make the better basketball play for the Dallas Mavericks here. It's not about finesse. It's not about padding your stats. It's about making the best basketball play at the moment. That's what you have to do for the Dallas Mavericks from here on out. You're in a hole. You're down 2-0. Game 3 is a game 7 to you. You need to win game 3 no matter what. You're in Dallas. You're at home. This is for it. I mean, if you go down 3-0 at home, it's over with. We can say that. We can say that the Boston Celtics will win in 5 games if that's the case. But I just think Game 3 is a must-win, especially if Porzingis is questionable. And I do think Porzingis is probably going to sit out and be out with an injured calf again. Porzingis always hitting the floor, and I think that's a huge loss from the Boston Celtics. That's why I said this gives light to the Dallas Mavericks. If Porzingis is not going to play the rest of this series, or if he's banged up, I think that's a huge loss for the Boston Celtics. However, I still think the Boston Celtics can handle business and win 2 games without Porzingis. Yes, they absolutely can. However, if Kyrie and Luka go for 30-plus points apiece with the role players that P.J. Washington, the Dallas Mavericks need, Jones Jr., they need these guys to step up. They really do. Derrick Jones Jr., a good defender. You got Gafford. You need these guys to step up for the Dallas Mavericks, but it's evenly matched. We know this. We know that the Dallas Mavericks are not as good as a team as the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics are the more complete team, and the X-Factor players right now for the Boston Celtics are definitely Porzingis, which I think is their most valuable player in the past 2 games than any Boston Celtics player. And then not to mention Drew Holiday, what a game he had in Game 2, high points there. I mean, crazy. And then you got Derek White, and then Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I mean, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, I just feel like they don't play the best together. I don't know what it is. Either Jaylen Brown goes off or Jason Tatum goes off. Typically, we don't see them both going off in the same game. I don't understand it. I really don't. I think Jason Tatum, I don't know what he's thinking mentally right now. I think he's off a little bit. I think Jason Tatum has so much talent, he doesn't even realize that he can get to the cup every single play. He can get to the basket, hit an easy 5-10-foot jumper literally every single play. They're playing Jason Tatum to go drive. So if I'm the head coach for the Boston Celtics, I'm saying, Tatum, bro, you got the green light in Game 3. I want you to drive it every single play. I want you to shoot maybe 5 jumpers at most, or 3s. I want you to take it to the hole every single play. Jason Tatum can do that. Draw the double team, kick out to the – that's why Jason Tatum had, 12 assists in Game 2? Like, that's what you need, dude. Or 9 assists in Game 2, or 12 assists in Game 2, 9 boards for Jason Tatum and 18 points. That's what you want from Tatum. But I want him to go to the cup more. I want him to create the contact, get the and one. That's what Jason Tatum's great at, and he's staying away from it. I'm surprised Boston's up right now. Boston, I thought, should have lost Game 2, really. They should have never been up at halftime, up by 3. It's just the Dallas Mavericks that kind of shy away from certain things. It's like, bro, I want Kyrie to go to the bucket. I want Luka to back down under Drew Holiday if he's guarding him. Like, that's a mismatch in my book. He's going to do the fadeaway jumper. That's what Luka's going to do on Drew Holiday, okay? Like, that's what you need to do if you're the Dallas Mavericks. But overall, looking at it, it looks like the Boston Celtics are going to win their 18th championship, the most all-time in NBA history. Congrats to the Boston Celtics. I mean, what an organization. You got guys like Bill Russell, Larry Bird, so many great legends to go through the Boston Celtics organization. KG, you got Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen. Great players throughout the Boston Celtics history, and it makes sense why they're going for number 18 right now. It really does, and it looks like they're going to run right through the Dallas Mavericks, even though I will take the Dallas Mavericks in Game 3. I think all the marbles are out here. I think everything, it's for the Dallas Mavericks to win right here. You're at home. It's Game 3. Expect Luka to hit his over. It's like 32.5. Go over on Luka. And I would even say go over on Kyrie. I think Kyrie, this is a Kyrie type of game where I need a legendary performance from Kyrie. I need a 40 ball from Kyrie. That's what I do. I need Kyrie to score 20 points in the first half from Kyrie if they want to win Game 3 and not get swept here. Because if they lose Game 3, it's over for the Dallas Mavericks. It's it. Great season for you guys. But I'm not giving up on the Mavericks. Especially, like I said, if Porzingis is going to be out, this gives light to the Dallas Mavericks. It really does. Do not count them out. You got Luka, Kyrie, but it looks like the Boston Celtics are going to win their 18th championship, man. And what offseason it's going to be. It's going to be interesting to see what the GOAT LeBron James does. I hope he stays in L.A. Or honestly, I hope he goes to Cleveland one more year. To realistic terms, I think LeBron James has one more year in the NBA, then he's going to retire. I mean, dude, LeBron James, the most points all time, most triple-doubles all time, top 5 in assists. The list goes on and on for LeBron. LeBron's the GOAT. Don't get it twisted. People who don't say LeBron's the GOAT don't understand the game of basketball. They just don't. But overall, I like the Boston Celtics to win in 6. I really do right now. However, I'm not counting out the Dallas Mavericks, even though I said Dallas in 6 or 7. But looking at the bigger picture with Luka and Kyrie, they can go off at any moment. Never count them out. It's the NBA Finals. It's anybody's game. Luka, Kyrie, please take off. It's the Cloud with Cab Show. Let's go!